All right, everybody. Well, hey, welcome to the Monday Note, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I like getting the blood flowing in here in the office. Little Rolling Stones, a little remix from the 21 motion picture. So, hope everybody's doing well this Monday night. I'm still recovering from a little bit of a over weekend cold I got late last week, but we are rocking and rolling along. Monday was a very, very busy day. Uh, oh, George. Anyway, but guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We're excited to be here on the Monday Note. Excited for this topic. Really think it's going to help a lot of you along in your note business, real estate, wherever you're coming from tonight, to join us here on the Monday Note. Now, yes, it talks about the topic tonight is KPIs in your business. We are focused on a lot of notes. Don't worry about that. We've got some things tonight that if you're in the mortgage, the real estate, wholesaling, traditional real estate side of things, short sales, you're going to find some content tonight that really help you along. But before we dive into that, I want to thank everybody for joining us, but we always have a variety of people here on the call tonight. We've got real estate investors, note investors, people looking to get into notes, people looking to invest in notes. These webinars are recorded. I have hit the recording button. They are uploaded to Vimeo and also being uploaded in bunches to YouTube, our YouTube channel tonight. But there's the link to catch the replays. If you can't stay the whole time, we're going to jump out there. Vimeo.com/WeCloseNotes to all of you guys. So hopefully you guys are watching these. Stay tuned till the end. I got some kind of cool tonight too that for next Monday night's alert for what we'll be doing next Monday night that you will definitely don't want to miss. So also, if you have not taken advantage of this, guys, we'd like to get download of a lot of my note closer videos, some training, a couple PowerPoints. If you'll pull out your cell phone and text the word notes to the phone number 72000. It only needs to be 5 numbers, 72,000. Text the word notes to that. You'll get a link sent text back to you, and along with being able to download videos, access a lot of great information. Would highly recommend you do this because we will start delivering deals out via your smartphone as well as a way to really keep you guys involved in what's going on. Hey, there's a deal in your neck of the woods. There's a deal in your market. We really got some cool stuff that we're going to be using with our SMS text messaging service. We won't be spamming you with, oh, hey, everything's going there, but there'll be some alerts to the Monday Note trainings. There'll be alerts to what's going on if we're in your market, or we have deals that you have notified us of what's going on. Reminders, hey, the Note Funding League is starting. Things like that, guys. It's there to help you guys connect with us. I do believe text messaging charges do apply depending on what kind of service you have. But text the word to notes, N-O-T-E-S, doesn't have to be capitalized, to the phone number 72000. I want to thank the 200-plus people that are taking advantage of that. We got some great stuff that we'll be using to roll that out to communicate with you guys. So, connect with me, guys, if you haven't already. If you're new here, you can find me in most of the social media things at either at @OneScottCarson, or you can find us at WeCloseNotes as well on YouTube and Vimeo. But we had a great weekend here. I want to give a big shout-out to the people that came out for our fast-track training, Jackie and Kimberly, Howard, DeWitt, Armando, Jose, Marlene, Mark. We just had a really great time having you guys here in our office in Austin here and putting you up and having a good time with you and really helping you take your business to the next level. So if you're on the call tonight, any of you guys that were here, we appreciate it. We welcome you to the Note family. We look to see you in the next mastermind group and look forward to all the success that you guys are going to have going forward here. So this weekend, guys, if you're up in the New Jersey market, I'll be flying up there actually and being one of the speakers or panel hosts at the New Jersey Distressed Mortgage Expo. I don't know what Mark Gold has in line for me. He asked me to help him market it, which we have. We're excited. It's this Saturday and Sunday, January 28th and 29th. It's at the Newark Airport Hilton Hotel. There will be 200 attendees. They're almost sold out. 20-plus speakers and vendors. That's really what I'm going. I'm just going to go network, really, for the most part. I'm not pitching. I'm not talking besides a panel on marketing and the State of the Union, State of the Market. You can register still at bit.ly/New Jersey NJ Distressed Expo. If you use the code WCN25, you get 25% off. But I believe there's only like 15 or 10 tickets left. So there's just a few tickets left. Take advantage of that. That discount gets you off the VIP tickets or the general admission tickets. So I'm looking forward to that. Flying up Thursday. I'll be working there at the hotel on Friday. And looking forward to hang out with some peeps I haven't seen in a while. Definitely looking forward. It's going to be a fun time. I think we've got about 40 or 50 out of the 200 are students already of ours. So we're just excited to kind of network and hang and say hi to everybody. So that's this Saturday and Sunday. If you're up in the Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey area, we'd love to have you see you. Come on out. So following next weekend, we do have our first Note Buying for Dummies workshop of the year, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Don't worry. You will be gone and done in time to catch the Super Bowl. That's what's the great thing about what we do with our virtual workshops. You can literally watch from your computer at home and everything and still be able just to close the notebook and walk over and sit down on the couch and watch the big game without having to worry about flying home or catching a plane or anything like that. You can sign up at weekclosenotes.com. It is $5.99, not per person, but it's good for you and a spouse. You can either go to that direct link, bit.ly/virtual note workshop, or you can just go to weekclosenotes.com and register on the websites as well. When you register there, you get an email notice that you're registered, and we'll ask who your guest is or other person is going to be. Excited about this. Anybody on here, any questions about our upcoming workshop? It's one full day spent on finding deals, one full day spent on raising capital, another full day spent on the marketing and exit strategy. So lots of great content. So many of you guys have taken the class before. Excited. If you are new to these calls and you are a first responder and you've not taken it before, you do get comped in. If you're a first responder, that means police officer, firefighter, EMS, nurse, doctor, we'll comp you in if it's your first time to watching to being a part of us here. So just got to drop me an email at scott@weekclosenotes.com, and we're glad to get you comped into that. All right? All right, moving on. First class of 2017. Yay! Marketing Madness is up just around the corner, guys. Really excited about that. You'll see some more stuff regarding Marketing Madness here in the next few weeks. Just over 3-4 weeks out in San Antonio. $9.97 for you and a guest. Chase Thompson, myself, Christy White will be teaching all the ins and outs of a lot of great marketing. This isn't just high-level stuff. This is literally you show up, you implement on-site. We're going to have cameras. We're going to have headshots there for you. We're going to really do a lot of front-end due diligence. This is literally do a lot of front-end due diligence on you guys to help you really walk out of there with a true game plan and an action plan to really kick 2017 in the teeth. All right? As Chase likes to say, it's a come to Jesus meeting with your marketing. You can register at bit.ly/marketing madness Chase. You'll see a link posted on my Facebook later. We've already had a few on there. Guys and gals, this is the event. You don't have to be in real estate. You don't have to be a note investor to want to take advantage of it. If you're an entrepreneur, I know we've got Jason Bible coming in from Houston, who's very paid to help us with his radio show, to help him with his Houston house buyers. Really excited. That's some of the caliber of the guests coming in just to go through it because they value what we're going to be teaching. So if you don't have any questions about that, we will move on. Tonight's topic. I do want to, I meant to put this in here. I want to thank all of you that have donated. Done a really great job with this, guys. We're so proud of not only what we've donated, but also what you guys have done. So I wanted to just give you guys an update on this. We've literally raised enough money for Cade and Micah to be able to afford his special chair. All right? Just under $5,000 is what we've reached. So we're about a tenth of the way to the ultimate goal, but just want to you got to give a big shout out to Stephanie Goodman, who's done an amazing job kind of running this. Want to thank all of you for sharing it. Don Smith donated $10 a few hours ago. Adam Adams, want to thank you for donating $100. Gene Chandler, $200. Jackie Woodward, $25. Just really appreciate all what you guys have done. We've raised enough to be able to get in this custom wheelchair, and that's a really good feeling. So we wanted our first major goal with this to make this happen. So if you guys can take an opportunity, you haven't donated, every little dollar helps Cade and Micah really overcome the obstacles that God and health has thrown his way And just big shots and prayers out to Natalie, Caden's dad, everybody like that as well, that he just recovers in a timely fashion and continues to just be amazing and make things happen. So just a really big shout out to everybody that's helping out with that. Like I said, I got to give Stephanie Goodman a big shout out for really helping out and putting this together and helping drive this as well. So, Christina Fuller, Jeannie Simmons, George Crocker, I want to thank all of you guys who have donated over the last couple of weeks. So, but let's move back in here to the topic of there. But somebody asked for an update where they were, and that's where they're at. So, so let's get to the numbers. Let's get to your KPIs, right, everybody? That's what you're here for tonight, to figure that out. Just what is a KPI, I think, is what a lot of people worry about at first. And so a key performance indicator is a measurable value that demonstrates how effectively a company or a person is achieving key business objectives. Organizations use KPIs to evaluate their success at reaching targets. Okay? So I know that many of you have been focused on goals for 2017. Big shout out to Robert Woods and Chase Thompson, who are also speaking in New Jersey this weekend with me, my brothers from the Note Mothers, who had an amazing episode, I think 103, 104, about goals for the year and setting goals and numbers and going to do them. Great episode. I think what lacks with most people, and it's not from Robbie and Chase because I know that they do this anyway, is most people don't know how to set or what the numbers are to get them to those goals. They have an idea and they want to have it set by a specific time. As you know, a good goal should have a date. It should be measurable, okay, and it should be written down, right? But most people don't know the numbers that go into working those numbers backwards, like how many offers you got to make and what's it look like to make things happen. And so a lot of organizations have different examples, like web traffic targets. This is something that some companies look at, web traffics, or rate of return in a portfolio. Hedge funds look at a lot of rate returns. How is our portfolio performing? Events, special events are looking at tickets. We talk about, like Mark is trying to close this up with 200 tickets. Well, how's that compared to previous events? And how does it compare if you have events every week, like at a concert hall or something like that? A lot of you may look at social media conversions. I look at something for social media conversions. How many visits did I get? How many people clicked on the actual link versus just watching it? Especially using Facebook or pay-per-click ads, things like that. Average purchase value. If the average purchase price on the website is $67.55, and last month it was $59.80. Last month it's up 3.72 per last month, but it could be down. Okay, you look at a whole variety of different KPIs, what people are looking for, and I know these are not quite like closed deals and things like that, but a lot of big organizations look at different KPIs. Okay. Yes, Dan. Scott at WeCloseNotes.com is the correct email to contact me. It's one of the better emails to contact me. Yes, sure. Sure thing, Dan. So, what do KPIs affect? So, if you're looking at coming up with some KPIs, what do they affect? Well, they can affect growth, especially if your numbers are going down, all right? Or if they're going up, they can affect how you're growing as an individual. Obviously, they can affect cash flow. Do you have cash coming in? If it's one of the great things that I've been harping on Chase and Robbie for a while. They do a great job on their MBA podcast, live downloads, but what does that mean as far as ultimate cash? Because they're putting money in, they're putting time out for a year before they started taking in any JV money, or what does that mean to them? Like, if you keep putting out but don't have anything coming in, that's a negative KPI, and it can be good if you have a long-term game involved with it, which leads us to profitability. Right? That's ultimately the goal of where all of us are at. We want to be more profitable this year than we were last year, but it doesn't mean we want to work twice as hard, right? We want to tweak our numbers to be able to identify the key performance indicators. Not all performance indicators, key, that help us affect the dial. If we turn the dial 5%, do we go up 20% in profitability? Do we adjust the dial 10% and we go down? you have to understand what a lot of these things affect. Effectiveness. I say effectiveness is a little bit different number. This also goes hand in hand with like sales training, things like that. Effectiveness. How effective are you making great bids on offers? Are you helping your clients? Okay, is what you're putting out really having the effective desire of driving people to your websites, of driving people, driving profit and cash flow into your deals? A lot of us don't really work off of a balance sheet when you look at your business. Do you run your business like a balance sheet month to month? All right, many of us, and I raised my hand there for a long time, was just looking, did I have money in my account at the end of the month more than I had last month? Did I have enough money coming in to cover the bills? And that's not an effective number to run it like that. You got to start running as a balance sheet and think if you're going to go big, you got to start acting like big. Okay? Success. KPIs affect your overall success in the long run. And if you don't know what your numbers are, if you don't know how many leads you got to have, how many deals you got to make offers on, or how many people you got to talk to to raise the capital, ultimately, it can lead to failure. Is this making sense so far, everybody? I want to make sure everybody is on task with this. You want to probably have some notes, paper out, taking notes on this, especially as we dive into the next. And yes, you know what, everybody, I will upload this PowerPoint to SlideShare like I did last week. I think I'm just going to get the habit of uploading all my presentations to SlideShare so you guys have that to go back as a resource going forward. Is that all right? All right, Mark, I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. So, let's talk about what are some of these KPIs used for here. All right, you can, what are some KPIs I use? Well, I do monitor our social media traffic, okay? I also monitor, especially when I send emails out, who clicks on stuff, what they click on. If they clicked on a workshop or a deal or a webinar, okay? Did they end up purchasing that deal? Did they end up making an offer on that deal? All right. One of the biggest things I look at every week is my force networking is how many RSVPs did I get to tonight's call? All right. And I noticed that before I logged on with everything, I was sitting at 188. I will be over 200, I noticed already, which is great. It means it's the second largest webinar of the year so far, which is not bad. We'll see how many people actually attend the whole thing. I'll worry about that later on. But that's a KPI that I use every week because my Monday note call is our biggest networking, our biggest marketing thing of the week for the most part. Okay? Sign-ups to workshops. We're constantly looking, okay, how are we trending for workshops? How are we going to end up, how are we compared to this one to where we were last year? Okay? Those are important things. Offers submitted. We're constantly looking at how many offers we have coming in, how many offers we have going out, how many offers am I submitting versus just taking offers and submitting on your behalf. All right? I do look at a lot of tapes, everybody. I do look at a lot of tapes, but I'm always wanting to know how many offers I have submitted. Okay? Offers approved is a key number. If this is a low number, are you overbidding? Okay? Or underbidding? Or are you submitting too few to get ones accepted? Do you have to submit a lot more to get enough approved? That's where a lot of people fail in measuring up their KPIs of where they're at. Many of you guys are, if you're in the note business, you're looking at asset manager. If you're an REO agent, trying to get in the REO business, you want to look at asset manager contacts. How many are you contacting? How many people are sending you lists? All right, how many are going to send you a tape of assets or give you a listing? All right, or let you make an offering on assets? Okay, these are all KPIs that I use in some form or fashion. Not always on a daily basis, but at least on a monthly basis, we're looking at numbers for where we're at. Okay. Tony, great. Glad to have you, buddy. Just drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com. Just got to go to the We Close Notes website and either contact us or drop me an email, Tony, with your contact information. We'll be glad to get you comped into the virtual note buying for dummies. Thank you for being a police officer in a hotline. Okay. So let's focus on here. Let's keep going on here, everybody. So, like I said, I'm looking at our social media traffic when we have different things. We're targeting lists out there for deals. We're targeting lists for signups. I always look at my email. How effective was my email that I sent out? Am I hovering at a 10% open rate, or can I boost it to 15% depending on some marketing we have going on? Okay? These are all things that we look at and actually discuss with my staff on a regular basis. How are we looking? Okay, so let's talk about where you guys start. All right. Well, you got to have some performance levels, and if you're starting brand new somewhere, which is okay, we all got to start somewhere. There's no shame in this beginning game. Okay, we all started somewhere. I saw a great analogy, a great quote by my buddy Greg Reed. He was today or yesterday, where he talked about even the tallest of oaks started with the little acorn. Okay, the tallest of oak trees was once a small little acorn. Okay. So let's start with your database, the number of deals you're offering, and your marketing numbers. Let's talk about those three categories. Now, it's not about raising capital. I'll cover how that fits into this. But let's talk about those three situations: your database, deals offered, and your marketing numbers. So if you've got a piece of paper or taking notes, you want to write that stuff down right now. Your database, deals offered, and your marketing numbers. Okay? All right. Let's talk about database KPIs. Well, how big or how small is your database? That's one thing you have to look at when you're starting off. Now, again, we all come from different backgrounds. Okay? So your database, I'm not talking about real estate investors. I'm talking about your total database. Okay? People you have names, emails, and cell phones. That's what counts. People, if you don't have that information, honestly, you're not connected with them. Okay, now you might want to take a look at it and say, okay, I've got 400 LinkedIn connections. That would count. I've got 150 people in my phone. Okay, great. I got 1,000 friends on Facebook. Okay, that's somewhat okay. How big is your database? How many people do you have their names, their emails, and their cell phones? Why all three? Well, if you've got all three, you probably are on a first name basis or at least a name basis of that person. It's usually somebody you pick up the phone and call. Versus just sending an email is how you can follow up with that person. Okay? And I always like to ask, what are you growing to grow your database? Now, if I was a minister, every week, what's one KPI I would have? How many people showed up to services, right? Besides how much was in the plate at the end of the day, too. And if I had new people, how many of the people that showed up were new people? I'd want to make sure to reach out to them on a regular basis to have them come back to my service, right? Or come back to the church, all right? Well, you have the same thing. You are in the church of higher returns right now, everybody. You are, you're learning the business. You're offering opportunities to people with notes because you're going to be raising capital from people because you're offering opportunity. If your best friend was the starter at Google and he never called you or she never calls you to get invested with them, the opportunity, you would be so upset. You have to look at it as that same type of opportunity. So what are you doing to grow your database? Just of everybody, all right? Yes, you can use LinkedIn connections. You can spend time on there. You can jump on some of the different LinkedIn groups and connect with people and hope that they respond back. You can go out to your real estate clubs, your networking groups, your BNI groups, going out to an Expo in New Jersey and networking with other people. You can join a club. Maybe you join a real estate investors club, something where you would get a membership to, where you're able to go connect with other people. Go to the golf club, or maybe you're already part of a club. All right? Special events. Maybe you're going, like I said, to the Expo, or going to IMN if you were at IMN last week. I know we got a few people on here that were there and were like just blown away. Okay, what are you doing to grow your database? Because obviously, the power of everybody in the real estate industry of some sort really isn't how much money you have; it's how big your database is. Okay, now if you don't have a database, there are things that you can do to leverage other people's databases. I'll give you an example. I'm always surprised that I offer up my database to my mastermind group if they're trying to raise capital or make a deal happen. I very rarely get a mastermind student to contact me and say, hey, can you send an email out to your database on my behalf? It's an opportunity that I always offer up to my members. They've got to send it out to their database first, but I've always believed that's leveraging other people's databases. Another thing is when I go and speak somewhere else, I leverage other people's databases that way. If somebody has me on a webinar, we're leveraging each other's database. Flip Nerd. I leverage their database, they leverage my database back and forth to help attract people and be a win-win. Right? Okay. Oh, Bigger Pockets is another great one. It's a great way to leverage your database and grow your database on Bigger Pockets. I would just avoid the negative people on Bigger Pockets because there's a lot of new people on there, but it's still a great way to leverage and grow your database, George. So great point as far as that. Okay? So moving on here. Let's talk about some ways to grow your list. You guys should all, based on just social media alone, you guys could all be closing or growing your database by at least 20 people per week. I'm sorry, 20 people per day, 100 people per week. It's not that difficult. You could spend an hour at night connecting with 20 new people on LinkedIn or on Bigger Pockets or in Facebook groups or in LinkedIn groups that are in your neck of the woods. And I'll share some of the tips of the trades of how we've grown a large database. Now, if you did 100 people per week, that's literally 5,200 in a year. Most people are like, I have maybe 500 people in my database. Well, you have to realize, everybody, you're in the marketing business, all right, with whatever you do. The more people in your database, the more deals you're going to fund, more deals you're going to close, and obviously the more private money you're going to raise. It's also going to build a bigger tribe for you, all right? And it just doesn't have to be about real estate. It can be about something else. It can be your passion, your religion, cause you have big to yourself. Steph's big into animal things and her cat rescue and things like that, okay? Your database can be leveraged in multiple ways, okay? Like I said, 20 people per day, 100 people per week is very feasible. It is so feasible, okay? If you use the social media websites to do this, and it's easy to track, literally, your LinkedIn, you can see every day how many people you're connected with it, and you can export your connections every week or every month into a database, into your MailChimp. You can see how many people opt into your website if you've got something that opt into your database. It's very easy to think, okay? Now, one of the big things is using hashtags. Now, if you use hashtags with your Instagram or your Twitter or your Facebook or your LinkedIn post, hashtags are a great way not only to find, if you're searching for people that use the same hashtag, but other people that use these same hashtags will help you and connect with you. So if you use the hashtag real estate, hashtag SDIRA, hashtag investors, those are 3 basic hashtags all of you that are in real estate of some sort should be using. Hashtag short sales, hashtag properties, hashtag Houston, hashtag Austin. We can take those hashtags and make it very generic and very niche, or you can stretch it out and make it very focused. I didn't put notes in there because I think, honestly, hashtag notes we're a niche industry. If you want to connect with other note people, there you go. But most of us, honestly, have a database that's more real estate focused for the most part. That's where we're coming from. Okay? You can also use blogs to drive traffic as well. A lot of our traffic, if you're using a lot of this stuff, will be organic. But some of you may even want to go out and jump on Facebook, post a video, post a photo, post something, and pay for have people to be posted in front of them. We do some paid traffic. All right? We use a little bit of variety of all these features to help us grow our list in our database. These are simple things that you all can do everywhere. You can take it and quit being an acorn and start becoming a bit of a sapling, a bit of a tree. All right? Start growing some. Instead of letting the squirrels find you and just eat you alive. All right? All right. Any questions about how to kind of grow your list as one KPI? A very simple number is having a number of somebody on your dry erase board or you're looking at your MailChimp account to say, hey, how many people are in my database? How many people are in your database? That's a great way to look at your list every week, especially when you get started. This is one of the things that I focused on. One of the greatest things that I had my coaches tell me, hey, if you grow your database and you focus on connecting with the people that you're supposed to, you will find success. So we had a question here. Thank you, Andy. Anytime. Andy's doing it great, Jay. Andy and Amy are. Andy Spagnola out of Baltimore, who runs the BWI meetup group, uses a lot of some of these things to help them grow membership. All right? Helps them grow connections, help them get more deals put together on their database. Okay? All right, let's move on. Second really thing that you have to look at as a KPI for all of you is the number of deals you offer on. All right? not deals closed, deals offered. Okay? You need to have a monthly number. I'll cover more about that later on, but I put that in bold because you need to have a number that you have monthly on the wall somewhere to hit your numbers of what you want to accomplish. Okay? If you aren't submitting or breaking down deals, you are just playing or pretending. I'm going to say that again. If you aren't submitting or breaking down deals in the note business, you are just playing or pretending. If you're a real estate investor and you're not submitting offers on the MLS, that's your best way. If you're not sending out postcards, if you're not looking at wholesaler lists, okay? Or you're not jumping on the note funding league things we have basically every week or every other week on new deals, you are just playing or pretending in the note business. You're not really doing anything. You're just wasting your time. You're turning your 60-day learning curve into 6 months or 6 years. And you don't want that. I don't want that for you all. Okay? You got to have a monthly number that you're submitting on. Okay? Now, this is the hardest thing that most people don't realize. New investors, realtors, mortgage brokers, wholesalers only close around 10% of their deals that they submit in to begin with. New investors, especially note investors, I find this to be almost 100% when you start off with. Most people only get about 10% of their offers accepted. All right? If I'm looking on here, see who's on the call now. And there's quite a few. Oh, awesome. We got good tips. I saw Wayne on here. I bet Wayne would be willing to bet. Cody Cox, I bet you'd be willing to vouch for that. You probably had to submit 10 offers before you got your first couple deals accepted. You know, because you have to learn the breakdown. Am I overbidding? Am I underbidding? What's the situation? I know Cody Cox, you closed on 4 deals last week, right? For some people who've been around real estate longer, you have a little bit. If you're coming from the real estate side or the rental side, it's a little bit different number. Like Wayne will say, he probably got closer to 20 before his first one. Yeah, but on average, you're probably your first 3, 6, 9, 10 months. It was probably 1 out of 10. Okay, yeah, 0 to the first 20 before you guys accepted. I would probably agree with that, Wayne. Remembering back to the day when you first started, you were a little frustrated, but once you got it, you sat with it and you worked your numbers to make it happen. Okay? If it's 1 out of 10, hey, great. You just got to realize you got to submit those 10 in to get that 1. All right? Yeah. Wayne says now we're doing 15 plus a month. I'm so proud of what you guys are doing, Wayne. So proud. Look, hopefully you're going to be in New Jersey next week. If not, we'll have to catch up here before too long. But anyway, so let's go through some basic numbers here of what you can do to figure that. All right? So if you needed to replace a $5,000 a month salary, if you need to make $60,000 a year, you need to have something coming in. You got to break these numbers down. Okay? If you figure the average non-performing note that you turn performing, all right, and you're going to make $500 a deal if you average cash flow, that means you would have to have 10 closed deals, right? We got to take it one more step further. If you're not using your own funds, but you're using a funding partner or a JV partner, then you're probably splitting that cash flow. So that means now you need to do 20 deals, right? 20 deals accepted, 20 deals you're closing on. Well, if you figure a 10% close rate, that means you've got to make 200 offers. All right? That means you got to do roughly about 16 2/3 offers per month, or putting in about 4 1/4 offers per week to get to that point in the first year. Now, Wayne, who's there closing 15 deals a month now, he's tweaked his numbers. He's up and running. He's a smooth operator. He's honed in. Now, his numbers are much different. Now, my numbers are much different now than people that are starting. But if you're starting brand new at something, expect a 10% acceptance ratio. All right? But if you look at that $500 a month cash flow, $250 a month pays your bills per month. How many, if you go through it and maybe your first 10 you get 1, your second 10 you're getting 2, you're getting better as you go, you're honing your skills. But some people never make that first offer, so they are still behind the 8 ball. Am I leaning towards the fact that I'm trying to push you guys to make more offers? Yes. I totally am, because that's the only way many of you are ever going to accomplish the type of success you want to accept or you crave. You don't have to have the money yourself. We'll get more into that later on. There is so much private money out there. You have to take action. You have to bust that cherry. You got to de-note virginize yourself and make those first few offers. Okay? Let's talk about some other professional numbers from people. Okay? Mortgage brokers. When I was a mortgage broker, I always had to be focused on number of applications received. How many new applications did I get in? Okay? Realtors will often look at, okay, how many new listing appointments did you go on this week or this weekend? All right? How many of those did you go on? How many did you end up with those listings? Short sales. How many new client phone calls are you getting, or how many new clients are you getting from realtors? Okay? How many of the listings out there are you actually getting to be working on? All right? Wish Matt Marinoff was on this conference call. He'd learn a lot. All right? Wholesalers. Are you going out and growing your new deal list to promote? Are you getting fresh stuff? Or are you just recycling the same old crap? All right? Title reps. I got a title rep here in the building. She's constantly meeting with new realtors every week. I got a new broker in here who's interviewing new realtors every week because he wants to grow his business by bringing on new realtors under him to expand his brand. All right? Bankers. Oh, I was a mortgage banker, worked at a bank. I had new appointments every week, and I had to open up so many new accounts every month as well to hit my goals. Right? Financial advisors. How many appointments are financial advisors are setting with prospective clients? Are they going out and meeting with new companies or meeting with new employers? All right. Speakers. How many speaking events are they scheduling? All right. There's a whole variety of different things that we all have to do in any type of profession. Now, what often somebody asked a question down here, and I apologize. I saw it clicked up and I deleted it accidentally. Somebody, I think it was Grant, asked the question, what are the biggest things that eliminates new investors from making offers? Well, usually some of the biggest things that either A, they're submitting lowball offers that are way too low, and so they don't even get really looked at because they're really low. They're not listening to the guidance, the pricing guidance. They're scared. They're deducting all the expenses on the front ends versus realizing that some of those come in with the fact that they're picking up an asset at 45. They're just not doing their due diligence. They're learning as they do it a lot of times. If somebody got 10 out of 10 deals accepted right off the bat, I'd be very nervous because they're probably offering too much on some of the deals. All right? There's a variety of things depending on what's going on. How can you improve that ratio in the beginning? It's breaking down and working through it more so than anything else. Okay? You've got the more you can break down the numbers and practice it, almost role play it, you're going to have better success in the long run. It's the same thing. A lot of people will role play, all right, their appointments. And I remember when I was a financial advisor back, I would literally fake role play at my appointments. Oh, if they ask the question, here's the way I go. And when I first started calling bank asset managers, I literally role played in my office, making like 10 phone calls. And my buddy in the next office was like, who are you talking to, Scott? But it got me over my fears. All right? Yeah, I looked like a silly idiot practicing in front of a mirror, but I could see how I communicated. All right? And it helped me hone my skills. Making offers and then finding out why your offer wasn't accepted is not a bad thing. Is it too high, too low? Where did it come in at? Did I goof up? Some people are better at that. Me, I like to share people, okay, your offer was low. You were beat by $2,000. You're close, but somebody beat you by $2,000. All right? There's a variety of different things that can help you get accepted, but most of it's role-playing and breaking down the numbers, and the more you know a number, the more you know a real estate deal, the more accurate a number you can actually give. Does that make sense? You're welcome. All right, so moving on. Let's talk about some marketing numbers here. All right, marketing numbers. A lot of people will talk about, if you're coming over from traditional real estate where I was beforehand, a lot of us were sending out postcards every month. We're sending out yellow letters, okay? and I'd send out the foreclosure list. You're sending 1,000 at least postcards per month or letters, and you're hoping that people call you before the foreclosure auction. So I always look, okay, how many postcards did I send out this week? How many phone calls did I make or did I get? And how many appointments did I make out of that? All right. If I'm making phone calls, okay, how many new clients? If I'm in sales, how many phone calls am I making? How many new clients am I bringing on each month? Okay, it's a numbers game. Another thing I used to do initially was like, okay, if I'm going to make asset manager phone calls, how many new lists am I getting or how many new non-disclosures am I signing? When I first started, my biggest goal was like, okay, at the end of the first year, I want to have 100 asset managers that send me lists. Well, or 100 asset managers that I signed NDAs with. Well, I blew past that in the first year. I did 1,000 at the end of 12 months. I'm like, oh my God, I really have made some great connections in that first year from just cold calling, dialing for dollars, calling 50 phone calls a day, getting a hold of 10 to 12 to 14 asset managers, and getting 4 to 5 NDAs signed to those numbers, and getting one new list out of that. Not everybody had a list every month, but at some point throughout the year, they would have something. Okay? Another thing, how many emails are you sending out, and how many are they actually opening? You have to realize this, everybody, that your database, when we talk about growing your database, your warm market emails are probably only going to open about 20% of the time. 20% of the time is pretty much the normal open rate in the real estate industry. If you're any type of real estate sales, it's about 20% open rate. So only about 1 out of 5 people are reading your emails. This is why it's important to have those other social media profiles. This is why it's important to send it out more than once. The email, send it to the list that didn't open it the first time around. You'll increase your open rates by another 7 to 10%, sending that same email out at a later time in the day. If you send it out Tuesday in the morning, send it out Thursday afternoon. Or send it out to the people that didn't open it the first time around, and you'll often have higher success. New Facebook connections. This is another thing that's important for people. How are you growing your Facebook connections? Some people don't like to connect to that, and that's fine, but you're really missing out on a huge opportunity with one of the largest social media websites that offers all these amazing tools and advertising and ways to connect with people on there. Okay? How many people click on your links? If you're posting a blog ad or a link to a blog or a video, how many people are watching your videos? 1 is greater than 0. But hopefully that 1 is growing a little bit every time. It's 2 the next time, 3 the next time, 4. Keep doing it. It will eventually grow. All right? Now, one of the big things you don't want to do is don't over KPI yourself. I see this happen sometimes. People that are over analytical, they put a KPI for everything, and they will never be able to have any type of success. Okay? Too many numbers will drive you crazy, and it is ineffective. All right? You can't grow and adjust things if you're constantly looking at numbers. And you're looking at everything. That doesn't make sense. You got to basically narrow it down. I'm a big proponent of just picking like 3 numbers to start off. Some of you maybe only just need 1. All right? Initially, maybe it's just I got to grow my database, or I've got to get offers in. All right? If you focus on any of these things, 1 to 3 numbers, 1 to 3 KPIs, focus by itself will help increase productivity. All right? Because it's something to focus on. A man achieves what he thinks of every day. I went and saw the Founder last night, the story about Ray Kroc at McDonald's last night. Great movie. I highly recommend you all go see it. It may not have painted Ray Kroc in the most best of lights at the end of the movie, but it was a great, great movie. Talk about determination and focus and overcoming obstacles, make things happen. And just a great movie. I found myself kind of identifying with some of the things about Ray Kroc and being focused and people, kind of pissing people off sometimes. But also being dedicated and have a bigger vision of where I saw something than what others saw at the same time who were in the same shoes. Okay? Exactly. Cody, the biggest thing for you is making more offers. You just got to make more offers. Okay? You have to focus daily on them. And it's tough when you're working full-time. Totally get that. When you're working full-time, it's very hard to be able to make more offers or focus on a lot of numbers if you're working full-time. If you're working more than 40 hours a week and you got a 2-hour commute, it's tough. One thing that may help you, Cody, is getting LinkedIn on your cell phone and connecting with the asset managers during that 1 hour to 2 hour commute. Going down there and just copy pasting, saving your same template of what you would send in an email to asset managers, special asset managers on LinkedIn, and you're just copy pasting as you're connecting with special asset managers. That would probably be a great way to squeeze out 20 more connections every week in an hour while you're riding the bus back. And it will be probably something fun to, you can still listen to the Note MBA podcast or the Monday Note whenever you're traveling back, but be able to kill two birds with one stone and really kind of boost you into the weekend and boost you into Nancy's arms, and you can spend 2 hours getting some stuff done there at the house. Okay? Perfect. Hopefully that's helpful. Okay? George says, I told Cody a couple of times that I would be glad to take any heavy notes he has since he only has one arm working. George, make some offers. I love your comedic view on things, but George, you got to make some offers. You got to ready, aim, fire versus just ready, aim, okay? Yep, you know what I'm talking about, brother. Garrison says, the number one KPI for me, find asset managers. Make offers. That's great, Garrison. Totally agree with it. Two great things, because you don't have a problem raising capital because you already have a good database. You've already done things as a real estate investor. You just got to tweak your numbers a little bit, tweak your offers to get them a little bit more in line with where it's going, because you've come from the REO side or the fix and flip side. You have to adjust kind of what you evaluate property for, see what people are going at. Okay? But you're doing a great job, Garrison. Excited to get you in here for a fast track before too long. All right, so your biggest goal for everybody out there is, if you've got your 1, 2, or 3 numbers, focus daily on them, okay? Share them with your team. If you've got people that you share with, network with, make it a game. Maybe you identify with somebody in your neck of the woods that is similarly minded and somebody you can hold accountable to or be accountable with, and make it a game. Hey, our goal is to grow our database asset managers list this week. Hey, how much did you grow this week? Oh, I grew 50. Oh, shit. I need to get on it. I need to grow it by 60. And it becomes how many offers you make this week? Well, I made 10 offers. Oh, I only got 1 in. I need to really work on it. Because those things will drive your competitiveness. One of the best things I can tell you is going back now 2 Decembers ago, we had our San Diego Mastermind, which was the biggest one prior to, well, December is always the biggest one. But we had 55 people come to San Diego. And remember Jay was there, Jay was closing some deals, and somebody challenged him to close 100-plus deals in 12 months. 2 other people challenged him to do it. Well, Jay Tenenbaum went out and did it. The other people flaked off. Last year, not December 2016, but December 2015 in Cape Coral, Florida, Wayne Snell and Natalie Patton. Natalie was at her first mastermind with her partner, Wayne, and they had already closed a few deals, and they were talking about, I told them they need to push themselves. They were like, well, let's make sure we close the same amount of deals this year as we did last year. That's not pushing themselves. Now, they went out and set a number for themselves, 100. Well, I think they ended up at 125 or 150 before the year ended. They had a KPI number where they got it. Now, Wayne's and Natalie closing 15, 17 deals a month. They shared that with each other, their goals. It also helped that I think they shared it with their asset managers that they were actually buying from and made things happen. They shared it with a group, and people were so proud of them. Okay? Somebody asked a question here. How about advertising a magazine like American Association of Mature American Citizens for JV Partners? Or is that too expensive or not the best way? There's no reason to waste money on advertising a magazine, George. All you need to do is either open your freaking mouth or send an email out. That's all you got to do. Those are the 2 ways you're going to get out and network with people. Nobody's going to invest with you from an ad, okay, from a city when you have no experience. You have to get out. And how do you overcome lack of experience? You share with funding partners that you know everything about the deal. You break it down. You dive into the due diligence, okay? And this goes for everybody on here. I hear that from a lot of people. Well, I'm going to send an ad or I'm going to post it. Nobody is going to invest with you unless they know that you know what you're doing. And you don't necessarily have experience, but you know the numbers. You know what could go wrong, the due diligence aspect of it. You have all those boxes checked. They're going to write a check, okay? They're going to write a check for you. Now, the big thing about your numbers, you got to review these weekly and monthly. Hey, where are we this week? How are we looking for the month? All right. You don't need to do it every hour on the hour. I'll grow my Facebook group by 3 people this week or this minute. I think it's the one thing about Facebook that's kind of crazy. It drives people to kind of spend a lot of time. Who's going to like my post? Who's going to like my selfie? Hang on a second. Let me take a selfie. All right? Let me take another selfie. Ooh, let me fix my bosom. Or let me make some more fish lips. That drives me bonkers. I'm always going to tell you how people, if I see too many selfies from what they're actually deals or stuff they're working on, oh my gosh, spend your time on something that's going to make you something different. Now, your numbers, if you see things, maybe your numbers are too aggressive or what you want to focus on, adjust as needed. Maybe you don't have the time to add 100 people every day. Maybe you got to drop that down to 20. All right? Maybe it's not during the week, but maybe you've got more time on Saturday, Sunday. In other words, not just email. As I said before, email and talk to people. Go out and network. Go to your local real estate investment clubs. Get out and talk to people, everybody. The thing is, if you have no focus, you will have no clarity. All right? No focus equals no clarity, which equals no success. You'll just be wasting your time and wasting your resources. And George, if you're asking a question, it's called make offers. Maybe you need to have a little faith. A man of faith needs to have a little faith. Maybe you need to make some offers and have some faith that God will provide for you. That's how I made things happen. Maybe all of you out there that are struggling need just to make some offers, and when they get approved or countered and your little sphincter tightens up so tight you can't pass gas, that's a good thing. It'll get you outside of your comfort level. Okay? I'll tell you a story. I was a sophomore in high school. I made the varsity basketball team. And I started about half the season at power forward. And we were a 3A high school out of South Texas, Ingleside, Texas. And our coach, Coach Robledo, who was also the linebacker coach on the football team, he was the head coach. He had taken a couple smaller schools to the state. Marion, Texas, to the state final. I think they were silver medalists at the state. Another team earlier on in his career taking the state. So he was excited because we had a pretty good team. We had Billy Lindley, who could shoot it from the outside. We had Steven Snyder, who was an amazing running back and a great real big center who played for us. He was great. Jacob Huerta. We had some just really good Eric Edison, some other great people. We had a good team that worked together. Well, we went and played a bigger high school called Flower Bluff High School. And Flower Bluff was a really good team. They were very fast, and they were about 5 times as big a high school as we were as far as, attendance. We had maybe 400 people in the whole high school. They had like 4,000. Okay? So a much bigger pool to sing. Well, we played them. In that first quarter, we were tied at the end of the first quarter, 29-29. Okay? At the end of the game, we lost 105-37. It may not have been that bad, but it was bad. We got blown out the last 3 quarters. And at halftime, it was already like 60-27. We only scored 2 points in the second quarter. And I remember Coach coming in and says, you guys are so tight because you can play with these guys. And yes, you're outside your comfort level. It's causing you to be more focused on the fundamentals. Play your game. Don't overdo your thing. Don't try to overplay. Don't try to be something you're not. Focus on your game. We can play with them. Everybody that's here, you can play with the big boys. You can make things happen. All right? You're not going to shoot threes or twos. You can hit singles or doubles, or you don't have to try to hit home runs. Get out there, make offers on deals, and you'll find it. There's so many different things that will happen when you make offers on it. You'll learn so much more about breaking down the numbers. If you listened to the No MBA podcast either last week or this week, you heard Adam Adams. We had him on the virtual workshop in November. And Adam talks about the fact that he made 14 offers, and he initially had 10 accepted. And he ended up closing on 4, but he learned so much about the business being forced to have to really do the due diligence and break things down. My buddy Brian Pitcher out of Salt Lake City is closing on some deals left and right. And he first came last December, made offers on 8 offers, and some were accepted, and he ended up closing on none of them. He did break them down and realize, oh, I'm overpaying, or this is a piece of crap. Okay? He learned more from breaking them down and getting outside of his comfort level. He had to get out of his wholesale and his short sale business and take the time to understand what he was doing was different. And that's where many people struggle, is you guys aren't taking the time to realize you have to learn. You're not going to close 100% out the gate. You're not going to close 50%. All right? You've got to tweak your numbers, tweak your due diligence to find out what really is going to make yourself work. And you got to find and develop your key KPIs and adjust them as you go. All right? We've got, if you guys are struggling, maybe you need to read Wallace Whittle, thanks Scott McCammon, Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. Or listen to Robbie read it to him on the Don't MBA podcast. Yeah, exactly. I understand that. Oops. All right there. No, I don't need this right now. All right. Is this making sense, everybody? Hopefully this is helpful. So your biggest thing is to take action. What are some KPIs that you guys look at currently? Maybe you don't look at any KPIs. All right? What are some of those that are important to you? And what are you going to do differently now? And this is your opportunity to share some things that you're probably looking at your business and realize, oh, I probably need to do this or I need to do that. So what are some KPIs that you look at currently? Maybe it's in your current job. Maybe Cody Cox, maybe with your current company, with what you're having to do, you have to get in some offers every month. It doesn't be noticed. I get so many mortgage offers. We've got a deadline that we've got to hit. We've got quotas every month. All right? What are some KPIs, guys, that you look at currently or some that are important to you or that you're going to do differently? What are those 3 things that you want to share? Anyone want to share right now? All right. Let's see here. Guys, if you're not going to post a comment on what we're talking about right now, just save it to the end. All right, so Al says, I need to get investors. The more the better. Yeah, but what are you going to do that, Al? You're going to use that. That means you got to grow your database. It means you got to go out and network immediately. Exactly. All right. Bill says, I just learned I already use KPI. Great. They just got kicked in there. That's great. Just learned I already use KPI in my day job. That's awesome, Bill. Great. Just learned that. Mark says, I look at contacting people in my network directly, phone, email, and tell them what I do. That's great. Good stuff, Mark. Immediately get off your butt. Yeah, that's one way to do it. All right, making more offers, contacting asset managers. That's great. Oh, that's awesome. Good stuff. Alan says, digitalize all business cards. Okay, great, but that doesn't really help, Alan. You got to focus on finding more business cards. Go out and network with people, connect with people. That's what you have to do more than anything else. Okay? Digitizing a business card really isn't a KPI. All right? Andy says, I need to go into leverage LinkedIn more than I have ever been. Great. One of the great things you can do, Andy, is you can actually jump on LinkedIn and connect with people in the Baltimore area by connecting or inviting people out. One thing. Milton says, building and refining my database. Okay, that's a start. All right, there we go. Garrison, that's a great. This is a great, pretty important part of my real estate business has always been looking at opens and clicks through on emails I sent out. What I have not been good at is increasing my existing database because my database has always worked for me. but I need to expand that database now that I'm in the note. That's a great point, Garrison. Every email database is going to shrink. It's just going to happen. People leave jobs. They don't use emails anymore because too much spam. Email database will shrink, so you've got to constantly go out and grow. That's one thing that I am always constantly focused on is I got to grow my database. We're tweaking it because I'm not traveling. Usually I jump on a plane, go speak somewhere, and get 50 to 100 people, or 200 people, or 400 people, and that would help. But I don't want to travel as much, so I've got to tweak what I'm doing on a basis, and I'm doing that. It's not always been the easiest thing. Even though with all our technology, we are adding things, I just got to be focused on it. It's a little bit more focused, but it's actually easier and a lot cheaper for me versus spending time on flights and all that good stuff. Okay. Jennifer says, I need more asset managers and tapes. That's a new goal. I don't know if I can do 100 NDA days, but that's a great goal. You can do 100 NDAs, Jennifer. Trust me. 100 NDAs is not that hard to do. Make more freaking offers. That's right. Meet with 5 to 7 new prospective investors each week. Add 1 new asset manager a week. Make at least 10 offers a week. That's good, Wayne. Those are great KPIs. I need to self-analyze 5 deals a day and make offers on 15 per week. Good job, Lynn. Good stuff. All right, Lisa says, I'm going to learn the scripts and then make phone calls to list your November virtual dummy videos taught me. There you go. That's good. Network look better at your local RIA. Okay, great. Stacy says, looking at open rate database numbers, weekly contacting more asset managers, watching that open rates. That's good. It's a good start. Okay. That's right, George. You do. Okay. All right. Bill asked a question. Sales funnels, magnets. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, get what the question is. Are you talking about my focus on more sales funnels and magnets this year? Yes, I totally am. You're totally right about that. Spend more time here in Austin, getting more things done. Taurus says, focus more on networking on LinkedIn and building a strong relationship with current book of business and more ready and available investors. Yeah, okay, that's great, Taurus. That's a good start. But give yourself some numbers. Your KPIs are only good if you give yourself a measurable number. It means I need to focus on adding 100 new people on LinkedIn every week, or I need to add more investors every week. Okay? And going to your local networking club is great, but you got to get up and you're supposed to talk to people. Put your hand out, shake their hand. January, February, 2 of the best months to network with people. All right? So there's more people at this club than any other time of the month, any time of the year. You're welcome, Taurus. All right. Any other questions, comments regarding that stuff, everybody? And how do you take action? I mean, one of the things you can do is put a sticky note on your computer or a little corner of your dry erase board for some of your KPIs we are focused on and adjust those on a weekly basis. My staff has dry erase boards in their office, and so I have numbers. Here's what we're focused on. Where are we at? Okay? And you're going to slough off. This is not going to be, you're going to be graded every week. All right? It's okay to realize you're going to fail at some of this stuff. Just don't take it too hard. Maybe you need to adjust your goals down or increase your goals. If it gets easier, maybe you need just 1 or 2 or 3 of your goals. Okay? Any questions about any of those, everybody? Now, one thing, while you guys are probably typing a few questions here, there is the All-Pro event next Monday night, the Quest All-Pro event next Monday night. We're going to be at that from 6:30 to 9:30 Central Time, so we will not have the Monday note. What we're going to be doing is basically simulcasting this in place of our normal conference call next week. So it's next Monday night, 6:30 to 9:30. It's the Quest All-Pro event. If you're here in Texas, you may want to come down to it. I know there's investors flying in from California to be a part of this thing. It will be live streamed. The link that we'll use, you can go ahead and go register for it right now. Actually, hang on here. I'll send you the link all of you in the comment section here. Copy. Comments. All right. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it. Send to all. It is live streamed for all of you guys that can't make it or in different parts of the country. It is a free event. So if you use the link I just sent you, you'll be able to register bit.ly/QuestAllPro event. It's a different event than registering at questira.com. Okay? If you're going to be here, register at questira.com, but they don't have a live stream link. We're the first ones that put up the live stream link. I'm sure that Quest will probably do it on their Facebook thing, which is great. But if you could register here, this is how I'm going to live stream. We're not going to do Facebook Live. We're going to do it through our oh my gosh, I can't even think. Do a Google Hangout. We're going to keep track. I think Jason's going to send it out. Hopefully Brad will as well, but I know Nathan and Quincy will also send it out. There's a way to kind of track who's going. So if you go ahead and register for it, you're not going to be sold anything. Just put your information so we can track it. Because one of the things we'll do is say, hey, who actually showed up off of databases? So I'm kind of challenge Jason and Brad to see who's all going to opt into it. All right? What other questions, guys? Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, Wayne. You'll be able to ask questions too, guys. So if you're doing the live feed, we'll have that availability like we've done on our virtual workshops with chat roll. So you'll be able to ask questions of Jason, Brad, Quincy, Nathan, Nate, and myself along the way. And it will be recorded so you can go back and catch it another time. But go ahead and register for it. Can't make it out live, and we'll be glad to have you watch in remotely from your house from 6:30 to 9:30. Okay? Any other final questions for the evening, everybody? Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Al. Once again, if you haven't registered to get the different training sent to you, get access to our Vimeo accounts, make sure to text the word notes to 72000. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, George. All right, guys, we'll have a great Monday evening. Go do something. Spend a few minutes, figure out what you need to focus on here, and write it down. Post it somewhere where you can do it. Okay? Hi, Milton. My apology, but I didn't see the email, I guess. Then just drop me another email at scott@weclosenotes.com, Milton, and we'll be glad to look at that and see what it is. Okay? All right, guys. Have a great week. Enjoy yourselves, and thanks for joining me on the Monday Note. Bye, everybody.